What's up, powerful people? My name is Eli. You can call me Super Kid, and I'm here to welcome you to part 9 of Disco Elysium here on Super Kid Plays. Powerful people, I hope you're excited for today's episode, and if you are, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. Leave any comments you have for me in the comments section, and share this video with anybody you think might like it. Those things help out tremendously. All right, powerful people. What door is this? Number 28. This is the door of the person who we talked to on the balcony, right? This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives. That's right. That's exactly right. Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door. No one answers. Looks like the young man we're looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. He looks around, taking in the cold spring air. We should return tomorrow after we have finished our day's work. How about 2100? Sound good? Sounds good. Tomorrow, 2100. Tomorrow, 2100, right here, apartment number 28. He writes it down in his little notebook. Good. Let's go. Damn, turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Remember tomorrow. He's probably gone for today. All right. Well, what are we going to do now? Are we going to finally go talk to Kuno? Kuno? Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling him Kuno. Maybe it's because I hate him and don't respect him enough to remember his name. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably, though. All right. Let's check our journal real quick. We have to come back for that. Oh, we could go let Everard know about the map, I suppose, or the door. Oh, and we need to pay the damages as well. All right. Well, let's go pay Gart for the damage we did to our hotel room. Actually, did we talk to this lady over here yet? Let's check this shit out. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Okay. Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, roundabout north. Okay. Whoops. I can't recall if I talked to her yet or not. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. How lovely. Your room in the Whirling at Rags isn't much bigger than the sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Damn. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L. What does the L stand for?
Leighton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized coat. What gave us away?
Honestly, I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Wow, rude. I guess I'll shake your hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Like steel, there's strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Well, thank you. You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around. We are on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Wait, we're on an archipelago? Yes, we are. She raises her brow. We're on Le Caillou. Caillou? I thought we were in Revachol. We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. All French pronunciations are totally fake, by the way. Disclaimer. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kinema motor carriage either. Actually, the lieutenant becomes defensive. That motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. It is not a toy. Neither is this. The woman pats the cabin hardtop. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands. Does she have a name? The boat? No. It is called Cordelate 19. Cordelate? I don't know. Because that's the type of sloop it is. Okay, but what kind of boat is it? It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing, though these days I mainly use it for business. How do you like it? My sloop? I like it a lot. Her lips curl into a wry smile. It's the eel's hip, baby. The eel's hips, baby. So like the bee's knees. Okay. I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating. I think I could have a handle on the boat thing. Good. She takes a sip of her thermal cup. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. So what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. She points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east toward the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil, and gas exploration, offshore platforms. How much money does Wild Pines have? I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. I don't know how much a real is worth, but 20 billion of anything is quite a lot of them. Billion? What exactly is a billion? It's a number, officer, a big one. What is it made of? It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But they're quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. Yeah, I suppose they are. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? Well, you don't know that every single person is from their own family. There could be family members working for the same company. It's not unheard of. It is a tremendous responsibility. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions? They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between Samarran and Andalusian Islas 250 years ago, when Pines ships explored the South Seminoes and charted Low Montagne on behalf of the suzerain. Wow. Oh, be still, my beating heart. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to reemerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. Well, that doesn't sound very nice. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? She gives you a little smile. Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? 8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed. Ooh, a thought gained. She nods forcefully. There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen. With your help, forcefully, she says her warm tone. Okay. What can you tell me about this strike? Everything, she smiles. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and alignments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. An octopus? I will slay it. Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own. What the ma'am means is the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government. Okay. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. What is your role in this? Precisely. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counter offer. That's not really what a grocery clerk does, but since you're so rich, I'm not surprised you wouldn't know that. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago after that awful lynching took place. It was awful. Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected. Holy shit, she did. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 220M racist... 2.5 meters tall? Is that what that means? 2.2 meter racist behemoth blocking the gates. Oh, you mean Measurehead? Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. She leans back and rolls her eyes. So the strike is connected to the lynching. Her eyes narrow. Yes, I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later. Why? How were the talks going before the lynching? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago, she thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes, but the strike began in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive? What happened to this Gaumont? Again, all French pronunciations are totally made up. Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? She pauses to compose herself. Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Okay then. Yes, keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh, yes. Every worker a member of the board. I like it. Then you might also Like their other slogan, demand democracy. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board. And to be honest with you, I think it's much better because that's such a mouthful. What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand? That's okay. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of the Wild Pines group. The king is dead. Long live the workers. That might well be. It's not up to me to decide who's king. But as negotiations go, it's not a swell start. What are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. I first heard about it from the bois? I have no idea how to say that. At the gates. The bois? I don't know. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was Call Me Mañana. Yeah, I like that guy. He's cool. This checks out. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs? She raises her brow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? Don't let her answer it herself. No, I mean scabs. If these workers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I would not share it with you. Not yet, at least. What do you think of Everard? Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. Good lord. If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No. A rapier? You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle. What? Tracle? I don't know. Just dribbling down his double chin. She stops and smiles. Yeah, it sounds like she doesn't hate him at all. That's Everard, all right. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there's anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother Edgar. I remember hearing something about this Edgar. Have you seen him? No. Edgar looks exactly like his brother except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of the workers' dues. What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare? The Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution, 20 years ago anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a, how do you say? She hesitates, looking for the right expression. A mob. The lieutenant says succinctly. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer. She nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. She turns to you. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask, I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. She explains, would you say the Debardeurs Union is... an effective advocate for the rights of local working men? Why do you think so? Her voice is calm. There is only curiosity there. Between Everett the Human Leech and Measurehead, this union sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it. Sounds like they're all Revachol. I'm all Revachol too. To hell with the rest. They're good labor men. Can't fault them for a little corruption. I'm going with the motley crew. Well, she looks across the bay, trying to find the words. I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. But enough about Everard. What else can I do for you? One more thing. You said something happened in the elections? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous foreman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story. This forewoman. Her name? Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files. Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kind of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with them. Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. That's all I need. Let's change the topic. Of course. She passes the thermal cup between her gloved hands. How else can I help? By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare. You have? She smiles carefully. And how did you like Mr. Clare? Finally, time to choose sides. I didn't. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. Everett Clare is a hero of the workers' movement. He is the champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. He's not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the capital cause. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. I didn't. Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, she answers her own question. Corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption reaching into the bowels of the earth. She looks at the ground and nods. The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect the official policy. Does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides. Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I am not a corrupt worm myself. She turns to you. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be, she smiles, gossiping. Tell her she'll like you for it. I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. Of course, Detective. She simmers down. So, should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Okay. We have less than a minute left on the timer, so I think I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you. That is all for now. Of course, Detective. Take care. You know I will. Let's check. We got a thought. The 15th Indo tribe. Wild Pines, Field, Corpus, Tricentennial, Vierge, and LaSalle. Names of Revacholian Indo tribes spring into your head, set loose at the mention of wild pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses, and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, San Baptiste, Greatest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East Insulindic, Welter and Elcaset. But isn't one missing? Wait, no. There were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? I don't know. Let's see. Once we take care of the dead body, I think we maybe can get rid of this thought, the volumetric shit compressor, but I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. I haven't really done anything like that. Anyways, powerful people. I hope you enjoyed this episode. What's this lady's name? We talked to her.
Good.
Joyce. Joyce
help you
Messier.
with?
Oh, nothing, Joyce. I just wanted to know your name. We talked to Joyce all day today, and in the next one, I think we might wrap things up talking to her, and then go talk to Everard. Like I said, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit ring the notification bell, and leave any comments you have for me in the comment section. And please share this video with anybody you think might like it. Those things help out so much. Like I said, next time I think we'll finish talking to her and go talk to Everard after opening the door. But that is a task for next time, powerful people. In the meantime, my name is Eli. You can call me Super Kid. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Peace and love.